Today we will discuss Cauchy's integral formula, which is a very important concept of mathematical physics, or you may say the topic function of a complex variable. So first of all, we will know the statement of this integral theorem, and after that we will prove it. For your convenience, I have just written the statement of this theorem. The statement says if there is a region, suppose this region is a D, and in this region there is a simple closed curve C. This closed curve lies in the region D, and D is a domain or a region. If a function f of z is analytic at all points of this region, there is no singular point of the function f of z in the domain or in the region D. And the theorem states that if there is a point, let us say z naught, that is, it is a point where z is equal to z naught inside this simple closed curve. In that condition, what will be this f of z naught? This is the subject matter of this theorem. The theorem says that if there is a point z equal to z naught inside this simple closed curve C, then f of z naught will be equal to 1 over 2 pi I integral along this closed curve C in anti-clockwise sense. Since see this sign of arrow, it represents the positive sense or anti-clockwise sense. F of z divided by z minus z naught dz. This is in fact the statement of this theorem. Now we will first of all prove this theorem. So we have to know its proof. To know its proofs, first of all, let us see the statement. Here, as we know, this f of z is analytic at all points of this region, as the statement says, but if we consider f of z divided by z minus z naught, that function is not analytic everywhere. There is a singular point which will be z equal to z naught. This z equal to z naught is the singular point of the function f of z over z minus z, not f of z. F of z is in fact analytic everywhere. So let us say, let we consider a function phi of z which is equal to f of z by z minus z naught. We consider it. We see that this function phi of z is analytic everywhere except the point z equal to z naught, because when z is z naught, this function will be undefined. So what we see? We see that it is clear that z equal to z naught is the singular point of phi of z. It is its singular point. Now let us suppose, as we have seen in this figure, you may say this is figure A and this is figure B. We take this point z naught as center, and let us draw a very small circle, say C dashed, of radius r. as the circle is very small, it means this radius r will be very small. You may take r tends to 0. So taking z naught as center, we draw a small circle C prime of radius r. Under the assumption that r is very small, it means we take r tends to 0. Let us see, when we take the limiting condition that r tends to 0, what will happen, or what we see? We will see that this figure A is just equivalent to figure B, because this circle is so small that it may be treated like a point. So there is no difference between these two figures. So I have used the sign of equality here under the limiting condition when r tends to 0. Now, in this condition, what we see? The region between the circle C and C prime is a doubly connected region. The region between C and C prime is a doubly connected region. And if we connect the two curves C and C prime by a cross cut, then we know that that doubly connected region will become a simply connected region, and we can apply Cauchy integral theorem for that doubly connected region. So as phi of z, which is in fact equal to what? F of z by z minus z naught. This is analytic between the region C and in the region, not between the region, in the region between C and C prime. C and C prime. C and C prime. And so we can apply Cauchy integral theorem in this region. So applying Cauchy's integral theorem. Integral theorem. if we will apply the Cauchy integral theorem for that doubly connected region, what we will write? We will write that integral along C in anti-clockwise sense f of z over z minus z naught dz. This will be equal to integral over C dashed f of z over z minus z naught dz. This is in fact the most important corollary of Cauchy integral theorem for a doubly connected region. Now, the equation of the circle which we have assumed will be what? Let us see. Equation of the circle C dashed is given as, what we will write its equation? We will write mod of z minus z naught equal to r, because center of this circle is at z equal to z naught, not at 0. So equation will be mod z minus z naught equal to r, or we also may write this as z minus z naught equal to r e to the power I theta. And therefore, what will be dz? Let us differentiate it, as r is fixed. So this will be I r e to the power I theta d theta. Say it is equation 2. Now we will substitute this these values of z minus z naught and dz, and simultaneously of z. See here, if we will find z from here, this will be z naught plus r e to the power I theta. So now let us substitute all these three values defined in equation 2 in equation 1. So substituting these in 1. When we will substitute it in equation 1, what we will get? We will get that integral of, see the LHS of the equation, this is integral in anti-clockwise sense along C of what? Of f of z over z minus z naught dz, and this equal to integral along C dashed. Now for a complete cycle along C dash, the limit of theta will be 0 to 2 pi, because we have changed the variable from z to theta. So the corresponding limit will be 0 to 2 pi. And f of z and C there, z is equal to what? This is z naught plus r e to the power I theta. See equation 2. And over z minus z naught, and this is in fact r e to the power I theta. And dz is what? dz is simply I r e to the power I theta d theta. Now let us simplify it. You see here this r e to the power I theta will cancel out. I is a constant factor, it will be outside of the integral, and this is limit 0 to 2 pi f of z naught plus r e to the power I theta d theta. Now, as we have assumed that r tends to 0, so in that limiting condition, what will be this RHS? When r will tend to 0, let us see here, when r will tend to 0, this term will be 0, and so inside the integral there will be only f of z naught d theta. So as you can say, as r tends to 0, so what will be our result? Our result will be integral along C f of z over z minus z naught dz, and this will be I integral 0 to 2 pi f of z naught d theta, because this term will be 0 in this limiting condition. And as z naught is a fixed point, so f of z naught is a constant, and it will be I times f of z naught and integral 0 to 2 pi d theta. And what is this? This will be 2 pi, so this is 2 pi I f of z naught. Therefore, you may write what will be f of z naught. See here. Let us write it in another page. I would like to write in another page, not here, due to lack of space. So f of z naught is equal to what? This f of z naught, see the above result, will be equal to 1 over 2 pi I integral along C in anti-clockwise sense f of z, not z naught, over z minus z naught dz. And you see this is actually Cauchy's integral formula, which we have stated in the statement in the beginning. You may see this is Cauchy integral formula. So this is Cauchy's integral formula. So we have seen there is a very simple proof of this formula, but this formula is very useful in solving the problems of function of a complex variable. Now we will see an important corollary based on this Cauchy integral formula. So one of the important corollaries, and this corollary is in fact what? This is Cauchy's integral formula for derivatives. You may say this is Cauchy's integral formula for derivatives. As we know from Cauchy's integral formula, which is written here in this equation 3, What is this? So by Cauchy's integral formula, Cauchy's integral formula, see the above equation. This is simply, I am just repeating it, f of z naught equal to 1 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught dz. Say it is equation 1. Now, if we take, or you may say if we assume that z naught is a parameter and differentiate this equation 1 partially with respect to z naught, then what we will get? Successively, we will find that partial derivatives of different orders. So, let us assume z naught as a parameter and differentiate 1 partially with respect to g naught. What we will get? We will get that f prime of z naught. This is first order derivative of f of z naught. See the above expression. This will be 1 over 2 pi I integral over C, and we operate the operator del z naught on the function f of z over z minus z naught dz. See here, as we are differentiating partially with respect to z naught, so f of z will be treated as constant and we will differentiate 1 over z minus z naught. So what will be this? This will be in fact minus 1 over z minus z naught whole square at times minus 1. So what will be this? You can see this is a very simple differentiation. This will be actually 1 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught whole square dz. And we may write this expression f prime of z naught. This 1 may be written as factorial 1. Factorial 1 is simply 1, so we may write it as this 2 pi I. Why I am writing in factorial form, it will be clear just now. This is integral along C f of z over z minus z naught whole square dz. Again, when we will find the derivative of second order, similarly, you may differentiate it successively and you may see this is a very simple differentiation. If we will find second order derivative of f of z naught, what will be it? This is actually will be 2 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught whole cube dz. And we may write this 2 as factorial 2 because factorial 2 is 2. So we can write it like this. Again, if we will find the third order derivative, the result will be just just like as I am just going to write. So similarly, you will find that f triple prime z naught, that is third order derivative of fz. This will be 6 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught whole to the power 4 dz. And this 6 may be written as what? This may be written as factorial 3. And so we can write it factorial 3 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught whole to the power 4 dz. And observing these results, we can write by induction directly the nth order, in general, nth order derivative of f of z naught. So you may say by induction, if we have to write the nth order derivative fn of z naught, what we can write? See here, when it is third order derivative, there is factorial 3. When there is second order derivative, there is factorial 2, and for first order derivative, there is factorial 1. So for nth order derivative, what will be the result? This will be simply factorial n over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over. And now see here, when we have defined the third order derivative, then the index over z minus z naught factor is 4, that is, this is 3 plus 1. So in a similar manner, we can write that here will be z minus z naught to the power n plus 1. And this is in fact a most important result. You will see in the forthcoming lecture when we will discuss the important problems based on this integral formula. This result will be very useful in solving the numerical problems. But here, what we have gathered the information from these results, we may say that from this theorem, we conclude that if a function f of z is analytic in a domain D, then its derivatives of all orders are also analytic in that region. So, what we conclude? Conclusion drawn from this is what? This is, you may say, if f of z is analytic in a domain D, or you may say in a region G, analytic in a domain D, then derivatives of f of z, derivatives of f of z of all orders of all orders are also analytic in that region, in that domain or region. You may see. This is the conclusion from this corollary or theorem. So, one thing after the proof of Cauchy's integral formula, we can see as a conclusion or as a summary. What we can write? As a summary, we can write the useful result. In summary, you may say in summary, we may write. This summary will be very helpful in solving the numerical problems. So, what we may write, you have seen that 1 over 2 pi I integral along C f of z over z minus z naught dz. This is actually equal to what? This equal to f of z naught. When this equal to f of z naught, when z naught is inside C. If the point z naught is inside the curve C, then this expression is equal to f of z naught. And this will be 0 if z naught is outside of C. So, I hope you have learned what is Cauchy's integral formula, how can we prove it, and it's one of the important corollaries. So this this is all for today. We will discuss the important problems based on this formula in next lecture.